Joining us now on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Happy to have on Elijah Bryant. Elijah, thanks for joining us again on BYUSN.
Of course.
So take us through what the last couple of weeks have been like. You were able to get the Summer League invite with Philadelphia, and you went to Vegas. You played. Now that that's come to an end, what have you been doing since then?
Just been working out, kind of regrouping. It's been a marathon here for a little bit, and it still kind of is. So just kind of regrouping and getting ready for this next step.
Elijah, how do you feel about your overall performance in the last 4 games?
I think it was good with the minutes that I was given. So once I got in, I think I showed some people that I can do some things, and all I need is opportunity. So I was grateful for that.
Yeah, in the 4 games that you played with Philadelphia, you averaged 4 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist, as you mentioned, kind of in limited minutes. What type of feedback did you get from the 76ers or any of the teams? Because a lot of people think you go with one team, that's the only team that's looking at you. I mean, every team that's there is looking at all the players. So what type of feedback have you received since that ended?
Yeah, I mean, it was all good feedback. I think the biggest thing is just finding somewhere where it fits me, and it just takes one team, right, to give you a chance. So as far as playing in the NBA, they know I can play in the NBA. It's just what team's going to give me that opportunity. So I think that's the biggest thing right now.
So Elijah, I don't want to try to compare this, exactly, but when I was done at BYU, I went and played in the CFL. Some people call it the cheap football league, this Canadian football league. And there was a lot of guys that were drafted, within the first couple rounds of the NFL draft, didn't make it. They would come to the CFL, and obviously we would battle against each other in one-on-ones, and it took the pedestal of the NFL and the guys that were there, and it dropped it so low. And I realized what every athlete says is, I put my pants on the same way, my opponent does. And you kind of get this enlightening moment that, hey, I could play with these guys. I could play in this league. Tell me about your experience when it came to kind of that example and the confidence that, you kind of gathered from that.
I think the biggest thing is just getting out there and playing, right? No matter what level you're at, you're going to have a nervousness, a kind of uncertainty moment until you get out there and play. It's different when you're practicing. It's different when you're going against the same guys every day. But when you get out there and actually compete against other so-called NBA prospects and see that you can succeed, then you kind of get that confidence, like you said. But obviously at first everything's a little different. I mean, everyone's a little bit longer, everyone's a little bit faster, everyone's a little bit taller. So the passes you make in college, I mean, those don't get through, and those finishes around the rim, those have to be on top of the backboard, because like I said before, everyone's just that much better, and you see how quick you really take into account respect for people like Steph Curry and those little guards who do what they do, because then you realize that that's like really hard to do against someone who's 6'9", 6'10", guarding you, and then finishing it above a 7-footer. So not only do you gain respect, but I felt that once I got some playing time, I kind of found a rhythm and built some confidence.
Former BYU basketball guard Elijah Bryant joining us here on BYU Sports Nation. So you mentioned a minute ago that now it's trying to find out what opportunity is next. What is the next step for you? What opportunities do you have right now?
Well, obviously, I could play in the G League, but I think my focus right now is more NBA, and then if that doesn't work out, then overseas. But I think it's just taking it day by day and just focusing on what's in front of me right now, and that's just getting better today, and everything will kind of fall into place. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
So no option is off the table. You mentioned, obviously NBA is the goal, and then, overseas is an option, G League. Nothing's off the table for you then?
No, I think I'll look at all the options, obviously, and see what's the best option for me, not for someone else, maybe going overseas, coming back to NBA, or going G League, going to the NBA, or going straight, like whatever option's best for me and whatever team thinks that's the best route for me, then I'll look into that.
So, Elijah, with everything that you have experienced so far, from your decision to workouts and preparation to actually, in-game experience. What advice would you give someone who is going down the path that you're currently traveling? Let's say, some of your former teammates hit you up next year and say, hey, man, I'm thinking about the same thing that you did. What would you say to them?
I would say focus on your marathon, not anyone else's. I think the biggest thing people get caught up in is oh dang, he just signed a two-way, or oh dang, he's playing well. Well, that's good for them. But congratulate them. Like if they're, when colleagues do well, you congratulate them, right, for doing good work. So I think a lot of people get caught up in the fact that someone else is playing better than them. Well, that's life, you know what I mean? So I think the biggest thing is just focus on your marathon and focus on getting better every day. Even if you have a bad game, you have a good game, you're not playing. That's what really helped me get to those games where I wasn't playing. I would find out I'm not playing, and then I'll just ask the weight training coach, all right, let's get some work in, to kind of keep my mind going. So I think the biggest thing, because it's a long process, and I've been going since the season ended, and I'm still not done, right? There's no breaks, so I think just focus on your marathon.
That's deep too, man. We had 2 deep quotes back to back.
We've been talking with 2 deep guys the last 2 segments. What do you expect? Elijah Bryant, just a minute or so more. The news yesterday that Nate Austin joining the coaching staff as a grad assistant. What were your thoughts on seeing Nate coming back to the program?
I think that's a great addition for sure. Nate's a very thorough guy, and he's always a hard worker when I was there. He was a senior when I was a redshirt, so I saw all his hard work, and he always did the little things. So I know Nate will be a great coach and has a great future in coaching.
How excited are you for what this upcoming team can do next year?
I think it's weird. It's a weird feeling. Obviously I moved on, but it's still I feel like I'm on the team. I'm part of the team, so I feel invested a little bit. Some people ask me what's gonna happen. I'm always like, what do you mean we're gonna be good? And I remember I'm not on the team, So I think this team is gonna win a lot of games, and I think Coach Rose did a great job of scheduling some great non-conference games for RPI builders that would really help at the end of the season. So I look forward to watching what they can do, and I know they'll accomplish great things.
Elijah, great stuff. Thanks for joining us. It's fun watching you in the Vegas Summer League, and obviously best of luck as you look to continue your career, and hopefully down the road when things become a little more clear, we can get you on again.